So this shit just like, you see, we scream just like Castanet.
I see that.
They go to comments and shit over here. Look, just let us know how many viewers and shit on here. So this YouTube and Twitch and Instagram.
Unlivable. Is that a word?
Unlivable. Mm-hmm.
It'd be like uninhabitable or something.
Uninhabitable. Oh,
That might be.
It's so word. Profitable.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say proper. I say profitable. Oh, you was real?
Mm-hmm.
Which grade?
Kindergarten.
Middle school.
All through middle school.
All through middle school. I was fifth grade.
Still necessary.
That's easy.
Spell supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Can't even pronounce it, so how did I spell that? Crazy man.
Alright, I'm finna go live on Instagram and shit and tell them to
tune in. You know, we don't have to even limit it racial either because we're doing other things too, like the Western Performance Arts Center, getting some traction.
We can talk about everything.
Without question.
Yeah, we can talk about everything.
Without question.
This our shit. Necessary smoke. We got one person on here. Well, you went right off of this motherfucker, didn't you, my boy?
My following's so weak on social media. I need to learn how to. I need an influencer to jump my shit up.
You see how our shit had done piped up on Instagram right quick?
You gotta help me.
Shit, we just been out there in the streets doing shit.
That's what I'm calling. This is what I'm calling it. That's what I call it. Fulton County Jail. Guantanamo Trap.
Yeah, that's what we going. That's what we should name this episode.
Oh, y'all both were there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna write it.
Guantanamo Trap.
Guantanamo Trap.
Because
I link it to Guantanamo Bay.
Right.
And I link it to the absence of rights. You're devoid of rights. See, so that's where, you know, people in the comments, they can jump, oh man, you know, people going to jail, they deserve to get treated like 10 people die individually. Some people die from murder, some people die from overdoses.
I mean, they don't have like people who like regulate jail conditions, like they don't have committees and stuff set up that do that.
All right, so this is what we're gonna do. Them good questions. So let's sit over here and you sit right here, G baby. Gabby.
They're supposed to. Let me find. That's why they call it. That's what they say. They call it feds.
And if you have questions, don't feel. And y'all can comment too. Y'all viewers, y'all go ahead and comment. That's my seat over there, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, let's see.
Say less.
Yeah, that's your book.
What the guest at? What the guest at?
Guest shit.
It's the guest shit?
Yeah, it's the guest shit.
I guess I could drink on, but now I want to smoke Corona. Fuck Corona. They ain't paying no check. They ain't give us no check, so I just want. That's how you gotta be thinking too. I know you're thinking about that.
What's that, bro?
Brandon and all that.
Oh yeah, we definitely
shit. Yeah.
We definitely hey, go ahead and comment if you come in here, comment so we can see who you is. We interacting. You got questions. Tonight we talking about Guantanamo Trap.
That's right.
AKA Wright Street.
That's right.
Wright Street, 901 Wright Street.
That's right.
Oh, with some comments. Let me see.
Down Trump block.
Salute. Oh, cross your heart. What's up? Cross your heart, then my boy. When you coming back to the city? You know, we in the headquarters, man. We talking about Guantanamo Trap, aka 901 Wright Street, aka Fulton County Jail. We got smoke with it. We got my man right here, AD. Yeah, Antonio Anthony Brown in here, man. You know, and he done been through it, and he trying to change it. Hold up. Let me get right for the camera. Hello, my friends. What's up, fam? Where you at, Cross your heart? Where you at with it? You in Atlanta? If you're in Atlanta, you need to pull up anyway. You know, me and you talked about. You in Alabama, that's just like Atlanta. Pull up, you're an hour away. You in the Huntsville area. We got our lovely Gabby too. She gonna I'm gonna need you to read off. Oh, matter of fact, we ain't even got to sit over there. I can change the camera view right here.
What do you do about your introduction? You don't do an introduction?
Yeah, I do. When I do,
cup?
not on the live screen.
You do it on the formal show, right?
Yeah.
Do I need to write it out for you, or you gonna do it yourself?
I be doing it myself, but if you got a specific thing or a specific way how you want me to guess what? Yeah, guess what? I'm finna
But just activist, and writer.
Damn. Ooh, I just switched it. You see what I'm saying? Now I can go back to the live screen.
Hit this one more time, bro.
Oh, I didn't show right there like that. Okay, DM me your number, bro. Yeah, we live, y'all. We live. All right, matter of fact, Mr. Guantanamo Trap himself. So this how we gonna do this. I'm gonna do yours like never before. Cause I like to be over here in the comments with the guests and stuff. So okay. I'm gonna talk to you off camera.
Okay.
I'm gonna be off camera.
Okay.
So I can read the comments and I can mess with the people. So I'm gonna grab this chill right there for you and bring it over. Yeah, DM me your number, my brother. You know we got work to do. If we don't do it, who gonna do it?
Yeah.
If you don't change your community, who gonna do it? You from there? All right, so boom. We're gonna do a formal introduction like one. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, because the message need to be out there about what's going on, what's happening in Rice Street, what they doing to people. It needs to be so this your camera right there. You see that camera in front of you?
All right.
Damn.
All right, cool.
Look over here, you'll see how you look. You see?
Yeah.
Yeah, get comfortable. So we finna chop it up.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, first of all, let the people know who you is, man. Let the people know what you got going on and let them know a little bit about you.
I'm Anthony J. Brown. I'm a justice impacted filmmaker, I'm a writer, and I'm a restorative justice advocate and an activist that's located in the West End area of Atlanta, Georgia. And first of all, I just want to say thank you, man. Thank you for the invitation to come here and sit up and chop it up with you about, some important things that's going on in the community.
Right. I appreciate your passion, brother. I appreciate what you on. I appreciate what you stand for and what you're doing and the message you're trying to bring. So it's an honor to have you up here.
Thank you.
One hand wash the other. So tell us about this Guantanamo Trap thing, this Rice Street thing. How did you get so passionate about Rice Street and how the treatment of inmates and what's going on in there? Let's hear that.
Fulton County Jail is an affront to civilized society, man. 10 people have perished in that jail, in Fulton County Jail in 2023, due to the conditions, the subpar conditions, the below constitutional level conditions that people have to deal with on Rice Street. We're talking about The deaths range from anywhere from bed bug infestations to stabbings, to overdoses. 10 of them. And Sheriff Pat Labat, he's to blame for it.
What?
He's definitely to blame for it. He has the blood on his hands.
Why would you say that though? Why you say Sheriff Labat to blame?
It's his man. He's the leader. There's no organization that exists that the leader is not held accountable or is not handsomely rewarded for their actions.
So you think he being rewarded for these deaths?
Basically, listen, this is where I stand with the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system is nothing but an extension of the slavery, of the transatlantic slave system, first and foremost. So
you think he being rewarded for being a slave?
I know he's being rewarded. So he doesn't see
that's a bold statement.
And listen, you can see we haven't even made it 10 days into the 2024, and you already had one death on Rice Street. You still have millions.
What? Hold up, somebody died already?
Somebody already died on Rice Street.
How?
Not even 10 days into the new year.
How? What was the cause of death,
He was just found unresponsive in his cell.
That's crazy.
These are facts.
That's crazy.
You still have millions of dollars that's unaccounted for that the sheriff got on the news and said it was a mistake. Somewhere doing accounting, people allowed it, they put the wrong money in different buckets. So millions of dollars are unaccounted for. Nobody's been indicted as of yet.
So you telling me the sheriff of Atlanta, Sheriff Lambert,
Pat
Labat is openly saying that money's coming up missing with no explanation for it.
Money's missing to the tune of millions of dollars. He just got $5.3 million in October. Ostensibly to clean up the jail. I've been invited to walk the jail, to tour the jail. I did 17 years of prison, so I'm familiar with when outsiders come inside a correctional facility.
Right.
What happens is the outsiders are typically shown what the jailers want to show you.
Right.
I've been inside a correctional facility in West Virginia where Washington, D.C. officials were being shown the computer room. The computer room was very beautiful.
Right.
And in fact, it was so beautiful because no inmates used those computers. And I made sure to tell those Washington, D.C. representatives of what was going on. So, in the vein of John Lewis, I'm with the good trouble. And so I'm not interested in walking through a jail and seeing buff floors or seeing, sanitized holding cells, because I've been in those holding cells when there was been 50 people crammed in those cells. So
you've been locked up in Fulton County Jail before?
I was locked up in Fulton County Jail. My first experience was in the 90s, 1998. I was incarcerated in Fulton County Jail, but as recently as October of 2023, I experienced it. I explained it all on my Instagram, The Real Anthony J. Brown. That's
they gonna click it at the bottom. It's
no
gonna
doubt.
Yeah, it's at the bottom. Y'all click it at the bottom.
So hit it up. So my first 3 posts that I got pinned to my IG is just explaining my foray into Fulton County Jail this most recent time.
Right.
My thing is human rights.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we just gonna get to the foundation of this. Human rights, constitutional rights are being violated on a daily basis in here, to the extent that you're having deaths.
Mm-hmm.
But even beneath the deaths, it's the treatment of the detainees who are primarily Black, who are going through Fulton County Jail. Now, this same sheriff assured not only the citizens of Atlanta, but the nation, that Donald Trump, Rudy Giuliani, and RICO co-conspirators would get the same treatment as regular citizens.
Right.
Donald Trump's probably in Fulton County Jail for 20 minutes. When I went to Fulton County Jail, I had to endure 86 hours with my bail being already paid. I
ain't gonna cap. Donald Trump, the first president to ever be locked up and have his mug shot taken.
Sure.
So he wasn't supposed to be in there, you know what I mean? 20 minutes is too long. I ain't even gonna cap as far as the respects of the president of the United States in Rice Street.
And I'm give you respect on that. Oh yeah, but so what about Rudy Giuliani?
He ain't
Rudy
done
Giuliani,
Trump.
he didn't spend that long in Rice Street either. He didn't endure those holding cells either. Or the other 12 co-conspirators, you know who did endure it?
Who?
The one black co-defendant. He, the only one that was black, he had to stay in Rice Street for whatever reason.
You know what? For whatever reason, because he black. What you thought
There you go with this pervasive criminal justice system. So in a nutshell, Guantanamo Trap, I feel like in order for us to reform that, Sheriff Pat Labont has to go.
How long he been the sheriff?
He has to go. I'm not sure what his tenure been because I re-entered society in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So I wasn't that familiar with local Atlanta politics as I am now. As a restorative justice advocate, I must be engaged now.
Right.
And we can get into that, what that's about.
Yeah, tell me what is that?
Restorative justice is basically a concept that when people serve time in prison, that's not justice. Me being removed from my children for 17 years for bank robbery is not justice.
Right.
So what the justice comes when I come back and restore the very communities that I participated in devastating. That I devastated with my actions and my absence. So you now in my presence, I'm here to restore.
So you saying there should be more reformation, more of getting you ready. What is it called?
Rehabilitation.
It should be more rehabilitation than just sending you out. You don't think it's a lot of that going on right now? Everybody don't want to be rehabilitated, bro. Tell me how you feel about it.
All right.
Because everybody don't want to be.
Answer. If you want it, it's a long answer.
That's it.
All right. When you talk about rehabilitation, you got to go into history. You got to go into history. If I go before a doctor, I've never seen this doctor before in my life. This doctor's going to ask me about chicken pox when I had chicken pox. When I think about when I had chicken pox, I was in the 4th grade. So now we're talking about when I was in the 4th grade. Then you want to know my mother's history.
Right.
So now we're going before I was born. So now you want to know my mother's history, my dad's history, because he's trying to ascertain information about what? My history, right?
Right.
So the same approach needs to be done socially when you talk about the ills and the ills of our community presently. You have to talk about the history. You have to talk about slavery. You have to talk about institutions that were designed to make us think the way we think and move the way we move in this present day. We don't act like we act in a vacuum. These systems aren't in place in a vacuum. The criminal justice system, what we see today with Rice Street, did not happen in a vacuum. It's a continuation of when slavery was abolished in 1865 after slavery had been in existence since 1619. So they said that the new slaves would be criminals. So this system didn't just happen. So these deaths, the swindling, the exploitation, all the headlines that we see, even down to the correctional staff, that they get caught, bringing in cigarettes, bringing in whatever contraband, it's all part of the original system because the original system was about exploitation. Exploitation of the black man. There you go, brother. So whatever way you have it, whether it's a cigarette, today, it was tobacco 500 years ago. They were directly on the tobacco field.
This is what I'm trying to tell you, though. This is what I'm trying to understand. So, for them to bring us black people over here as slaves, not to get off subject, but we're going to take a little brief detour. This all tie in. We're going back to slavery because we talking about, we have to go back to the root. We got to go back to the root.
And that makes a lot of people uncomfortable. That's why it's necessary. It makes a lot of people uncomfortable.
But this is what I'm trying to understand. So you said, with them bringing us over here as slaves, once they let us out, they came up with a way to still keep us enslaved, right?
They had to do it psychologically because even once they knew the institution in its physical barbarity, once they knew that would have to come to an end, they knew that if they implant psychological enslavement devices, which i.e. the separation, i.e. the inside, the house nigga, the field nigga, the light skin, the dark skin, once they started those separations and those divisions, it was able to perpetuate it even once
So
the physical.
what my question is what do niggas think though? What did niggas think was supposed to happen? What do niggas expect when you're let out of captivity? Do you think to be released and be equal to the person that just let you out of captivity? What was they supposed to do? Was they not supposed to come up with a way to keep niggas down that won't overthrow them? We just done had niggas locked up for 500 years. Let's come up with something to keep them down. They did everything they supposed to do. So we shouldn't be mad at the white man. Or we shouldn't be mad at the system that we can't figure out how to get out of, but we still play it. You see what I'm saying? What we should be mad at is the fact that our ancestors, not our ancestors, because I love the hell out of my ancestors, but people before us didn't have enough, I ain't gonna say strength, but they didn't get up and be like, man, let's get the hell out of here and go back. That's what should have happened.
There was diverse pockets. There was diverse pockets of people. When we talk about 1865, when we're sitting in Atlanta, Georgia right now, in Atlanta, Georgia, they started Clark Atlanta University the same year, 1865. Clark Atlanta University. They started that church, the church that I really hate that they sold to the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. That church was started in 1865. So our people were resilient. Our people showcased an ability to thrive and succeed without the change. We see that with Tulsa, Oklahoma. We see that with Rosewood. We see that. We see that in Atlanta, Lake Lanier, Oscarville, right? So even we see that we did show promise. We did show our abilities and capabilities. We did show it, bro. But we faced systematic oppression. We faced the United States government.
You're right.
When people went to war, when our ancestors went to war and for World War I and World War II, when they came back, they didn't get the GI Bill. The white people got the GI Bill. They were able to buy land, buy houses that they bequeathed to their children. But our ancestors were like, hold on, yeah, you went and fought Germany. Yeah, you was in Italy. Yeah, you was in all of these foreign terrains. You couldn't even speak the language, but you was over there shooting guns and dying. A lot of our people fought brilliantly. Tuskegee Airmen, as an example, right? A lot of our ancestors fought valiantly and brilliantly and proudly. This is what we hold pride in, right? But we was thwarted by a system, by a government, right? So it's not excuses. So when we talk about, and I'm gonna tie it back into justice impacted. When we tie it back into justice impacted, we're saying that we was fighting against a superpower within our own nation. That's why Adolf Hitler sent Nazis over here to study. They was like, how do you keep a whole people subjugated in a nation? And they think, and they still pledging allegiance. They couldn't understand why black people would go, hold on, we know they're fighting over Germany. They killing our people over there in Germany. So we know they pledge allegiance to America, but y'all treat them like shit.
This is what I'm trying. This what I'm trying to get black people to understand. Yeah. But you're right about what you just said. But the reason you're right is because we allowed ourselves to fall up under the spell of believing that we can become equal to somebody in their own shit. Like we fell up under the delusion that it's a possibility that we can do everything the white man can do in their land. And that's not true. The worst thing Dr. Martin Luther King did.
What's their land?
This is their place, bro. This is where they brought us to. This is what I'm saying. Hear me out. Even when they let us out of slavery, right? And we had only been out, okay, we got out of slavery with 1865.
1865.
So
the Emancipation Proclamation was given in 1865.
So in 1965, we've been out of slavery for 100 years, right? 1935, we've been out of slavery, 70 years. So niggas was asking for equal rights 70 years after 500 years of being locked in. So you think, so instead of just easing our way in, You think we gonna come right from picking the cotton fields and getting whipped and chained and humiliated to being equal to them? You see what I'm saying? What we should have did was when they had white only pies, white only bathroom, Negro water fountains, shit like that. We should have made our Negro water fountains the best, our schools the best. Instead of trying to integrate schools, nah, we gonna build up black schools. And by now, our shit would have been way better than that, because we got $1.8 trillion spending. We if we was a nation, we'd be the 16th richest nation. But we're inside of they shit, spending money on them. We are the consumer class. This is what I'm telling you. So why not leave? If we know we caught up under if the white man doing all of this as we mass incarceration, Rice Street, crazy. This is 1 million Rice Streets in the United States, but it's happened because we ain't did nothing for ourselves. So we got to stop being mad and blaming the man. Now go, go, my brother. Go ahead.
I heard you. All right, so I got to take it back.
It's necessary smoke.
It's necessary smoke.
We got smoke with the right people.
It's necessary smoke, definitely. That's why we be respectful. We hear each other out. And I heard what you say. I disagree on certain points.
That's it.
And I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna rewind the tape all the way back to you say that we was agitating for want to be equal and what with the white man. So you're talking about the 1960s, right? You're talking about the 1960s struggle, right?
Mm-hmm. Right? Whenever it was.
I'm gonna bring it back to
whenever it started to whenever the civil rights.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But when I go back to Oscarville, when I go back to Tulsa, I'm going back to the 1930s, 1920s.
That's even worse.
No, it's even better because this is what I'm saying. We demonstrated our ability to be like, you know what? Jim Crow, we talking about Atlanta, Georgia right now. Jim Crow said that I have to be on the southwest side of Atlanta right now, because when Atlanta was first founded, most of the black people were in the southwest of Atlanta. We go back to the historical archives. So I need to be on the south of those railroad tracks. And so what happened was, even in Oscarville, they did build up their own driving economy.
Atlanta was a place that was bigger than Oscarville. See, this is what you don't know about Atlanta. In 1865, my brother, Atlanta was the place. The first black millionaire is from Atlanta, the male. Alonzo Herndon. Yeah, he was a barber. Yeah, they burnt down Atlanta first. You see what I'm saying?
So we're saying the same thing. We're saying that we did demonstrate an ability to create our own, for our own, buy our own, create our own, stack up.
And then guess who came about and told us to integrate it?
No. It was destruction, first of all. It wasn't before. This is all pre-Martin Luther. We're talking about Marcus Garvey era. If you're doing a historical analysis,
right?
We talk about Marcus Garvey era. He was all about that. He wasn't.
And guess what niggas did to Marcus Garvey? Burnt down his boats. It was black people did that.
You always want to have them type, unfortunately.
Yeah, he bought a boat. Marcus Garvey bought a boat. He spent $100,000 on the boat. The equivalent to what? $1 million a day or some shit. And the nigga burnt this boat down. And get what he did? He bought another one, the Black Skyline. And the nigga burnt it down again.
Unfortunately, that's just another sad tale.
So how we blame the white man? And guess what his mission was, bro? What I'm telling you, let's go back. Then Marcus Garvey was like, let's get up out of here. We can't. What I'm saying is what Marcus was saying. We can't be equal here.
That was pre-civil rights. So what I'm saying is, as this thing called America evolved, right? As it continues to evolve, it goes through changes. It goes through significant changes. And sometimes it goes in fits and starts. This is the home of an American Revolution, where people took up arms against a whole other country, against Britain. And they said, you know what? We're not going to pay taxes. That's when the taxation without representation, and they would take up arms, right?
Mm-hmm.
They did it with the Civil War when they took up arms against each other. So disagreements are going to happen and changes are going to happen. That's the only thing that's going to be promised in life is change and death, right? And taxes, I guess. So it's not a perfect union. It's never been a perfect union. It's always evolving. And with this criminal justice system, if we bring it up to that, man, you know, that's what I'm on. Even with the arts, we're agitating for the West End Performance Arts Center to be open.
The West End Performing
Arts Center. We agitate for it to be open. We agitate for brothers like yourself, educators like yourself. You told me that you're going into schools, middle schools. I'm proud. That's dope.
Yeah,
you know,
because appreciate that, bro.
We have to have access to these kids' minds, bro. We have to have access to these airwaves, kicking what we're kicking, whether it's Necessary Smoke, whether it's my brother OG Chigavelli, doing his OG podcast. You know, he out of Miami, but he's based in Atlanta. But he's talking about a code of conduct, you know, and that's what we have to be on. We have to bring, you know, how we was in the joint, so to say. And a lot of people try to shy away from that. You know, I'm out of prison. Fuck it, it was a horrible experience. I get it. I get it. It was definitely a horrible experience for me. You talk about a man that did 17 years in prison. You know, I had a 4-year-old daughter, and I had a daughter. She wasn't even born. She was born a month after I was on Rikers Island. So I came out seeing her for the first time in South Lake Mall,
right,
as a 17-year-old about to graduate high school. So that affects young women. That affects young men whose, you know, parents are taken away. You know, so what we need to be about prevention. You know, telling people it's other alternatives than all this sliding and spinning and drilling. You know, because all we're doing is killing our health. Because if it's ever a civil war, we're gonna need each other. We're gonna need each other. You know, so and we're killing the health, we're killing ourselves, we kill unnecessarily. And you can attest to how many brothers be behind the walls after they did something horrific, especially if they take another person's life. They regret that for the rest of their life, and you know, the devastation that it causes. So it's necessary for us to, you know, speak to that pain, to speak to that despair that people have when they behind the walls, you know, and when they make an egregious mistake, such as taking a person's life, you know, because that's something that should be sacred. Life, you know, let people, we didn't give life, you know.
And when you talk about taking life, our race is the only race that glorifies the taking of life over and over and over. Like, our race is the only race where the little kids talking about spinning.
I bet the difference.
So white kids running around talking about
No, I bet the difference. I'm about to say your point. I bet the difference. If Mexican mariachi music is gangster music. They like
what they be talking about?
No, they talk about the cartels.
I'm saying, do they talk about
killing?
They talk about each other.
Yeah.
The genocide of their own people.
Yeah. Cartels kill cartels.
Yeah.
They don't really typically kill outside that.
What they killing for?
That's a misnomer. It doesn't matter what they kill for. They
what niggas is killing for? Nothing.
No,
niggas ain't killing for no bricks and cartels type shit. Yeah, that's different. So you want to compare us to, we can. If you wanted to bring it in, we can justify.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying, Mexicans kill Mexicans. It's just a fact. Russians kill Russians. If we was to watch Russian news today, if we was to watch the Russian news, if we pull it up, it's Russians killing Russians.
Right.
They gonna be in South Moscow,
not at the rate of niggas killing niggas. How we treat our women in these songs and all this type of shit.
Because we're more saucier of a people.
But we
more
blame
people. We're not what we. I can't name you 5 Russian rappers. I bet you a Russian can name you 5 American rappers.
But guess why? Because we talking about that killing shit they want to hear.
So, but I would not say that. You know, that's a misnomer that I'm passionate about dispelling.
What
is that? Black people only do that. We the only people that do. No, we're not gonna.
Man, we the only people that do that.
Mexicans do it just like Mexicans do it. Like no. We can pull it up. Mexicans, if we translate it, they're glorified. And it may sound. That's what it is, because it may sound exotic to our ear because we don't really know what they're saying. But they talk about murder.
One thing I know,
about murder and death.
I don't understand it though.
Yeah.
They English music is way more influential
Sure.
in America
Sure.
than Mexican music.
Sure.
I'm talking about what's affecting my young nigga. That Mexican music ain't
Sure.
affecting.
Oh, no,
Country
that's
music,
different
country music ain't affecting them. Rock and roll ain't affecting them.
Yeah.
It ain't even affecting they people at the rate that it's affecting my people, to the point where the little girl said the coochie pink and the booty hole brown.
Yeah.
And the young nigga want to spin again, and if he ain't dead, I spin again.
Yeah, I agree.
Where your superstar basketball players is wearing dresses and fingernail polish.
Yeah. That's a whole nother wicked agenda.
This is what I'm telling you. Yeah, but this is what they telling you. Y'all want to stay here? This is what y'all got to deal with. Y'all want to stay in this country? This is what y'all got to deal with. Imagine if we go get our own shit, then you pick what you do. They gave Israel to those Jewish people over there.
Yeah,
the United Nations. Yeah. See, we ain't gotta call them so-called Jews, because they tell you that they the so-called Jews, because Jewish, they do. The thing ISH means like. So if I say I'm pulling up at 5-ish, 6s, that means around.
It's indeterminate.
So, all right. Yeah. So if I'm Jewish, I'm like a Jew.
Yeah.
They tell you they're not the Jews, but they're like the Jews. No doubt. You tell them, so it's straight in your face. That's prefix and suffix. You learned that in school. Yeah. I've been knew what ISH means. If you selfish, see, you kind of like yourself a little bit more. You might don't, it go all the way around, but they letting you know that we the original. But anyway, they gave them people that land so they can give us some goddamn. I mean, I ain't gonna say GD, but they can give us some land.
Yeah. Who is the proverbial they?
The United Nations. The United Nations gave them the land in 1948. That's when they was established as a country.
World War II, yeah.
And those are the same.
Took them out of Europe.
Exactly. Those are the same people that Hitler was persecuting. So the reason that they gave them that land is because Jerusalem is right there. You see what I'm saying? The people that were there at first, that was all Palestine. They moved them to a place and called it the Gaza Strip. These are the people that got mad and started bombing them. That they call themselves Hamas. The people in the Gaza Strip, they really bombing Israel trying to get their land back. They like, y'all just ain't gonna take our shit, but we don't know this. The world don't know that. But I'm just a motherfucker that do a little reading and shit. Yeah. So I know this. They took that shit, but it really our shit, because they really like it was some vacant land. And the people that Hitler was persecuting didn't have nowhere to go after they got kicked out. Yeah, but that's a whole different episode. We'll get back there. We're gonna get on that right shit. A whole lot of people. We'll leave that alone. Yeah, we'll get out of that. I love the Jew. Aiden Ross is a good guy. A YouTuber, very funny. I'm subscribed to his channel. I love it. But let's get back to this mass incarceration. Guantanamo Bay, Rice Street.
Guantanamo Trap.
You know,
I call it Guantanamo Trap. You know that's right. That's T.I.'s neighborhood. T.I.'s neighborhood was formerly known as Bankhead Highway. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm adamant about telling people to really let Bankhead go. Bankhead was a Confederate general. He was a Confederate general. Wasn't even from Georgia. He's from Alabama. Even more disrespectful. Donald D. Hollowell is a prominent civil rights attorney. So when we say that street name, Hollowell, we can say that with pride. He was a civil rights attorney.
That's crazy. I'm actually from Bankhead, and I never knew that was named after a real person.
Yeah, he was a Confederate general, and that's just how they play in our face sometimes. With this symbology. Even with Lee Street. Lee Street is still a prominent street in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. I'm saying it goes through the West End, takes you all the way to Oakland City, and then it turns into Main Street going to East Point. Mm. But they had Ralph David Abernathy turns off of Lee Street and Joseph E. Lowry, and they even have they turned Simpson Road into Joseph E. Boone, who was a prominent civil rights.
Right.
So
Boom.
But why won't you change Lee Street? Why won't you change the Confederate General Lee?
Right.
So it's just there to let us know that that agenda that agenda of white supremacy, that agenda of black inferiority for people that claim it, you know, for people that hang on to that Willie Lynchism, that always want to separate, you know, that don't see bar business as doing the same business as BMI is doing.
Right.
That don't see that Live Entertainment, Live Confident Films is not doing the same as Prodigal Sons Entertainment. And that necessary smoke is necessary, and necessary hope is necessary.
Right.
And that we have to become collaborators.
Right.
That's the hit. That's the piece that they don't want us to have. That's the, you know, that's the missing gem. We always ready to throw up division. We always ready to throw up a separation. You know, I'm from here, I'm from there. You know, whatever division and separation that we can, you know, build upon and you know, increase and emphasize, as opposed to seeing how can we collaborate. How can we push the agenda? What is the agenda? What is the agenda? Is it just about getting checks? Nah, it ain't just about getting checks for the city. It's about preventing a next generation of going blindly into the criminal justice system that readily awaits them.
Right.
Private prisons await them, right in the state of Georgia. You have people that think it's slick, and it's something slick, like, yeah, I'm invested in private prisons for what? You invested in oppression. You invested in slavery. You invested in human warehouses. Over 80% of people that's sentenced to prison will come back out of prison. So what do you think happens to people that goes through those hellholes? What happens do you think that people go through? I mean, what type of mental state do you think men have to be in that sleep with knobs for 10, 12 years straight? That's willing to gut you if you still a honey bun out his locker. And he don't even like honey buns. He might just be selling, he might just be selling for 2 for $3. He don't even like them. Kill you. If you touch that honey bun.
Or the TV.
It ain't even his. Can't take it to the shoe with him. So when you talk about it, you talk about PTSD, you're talking about mental or other mental ailments. You talk about emotional ailments. These people are coming back to society. And true, you know, a lot of them, we gotta put our big boy pants on. We go through the shit.
Right.
We go through this. We ain't told nobody. We ain't fucking. We ain't going for nothing. And we just make it about it. And that's just that. But a lot of us are scarred. A lot of it, and we see it in our personal relationship, whether we want to acknowledge it or not. We see it in our personal relationship, whether we blow up at people or whether we just get quiet, too reserved. We hold on to shit too long, we too hostile, or, you know, it's a lot of angles, bro, at being justice and pact. There's a lot of angles at the work that we do, bro.
Right.
And it's necessary. It's necessary work.
It's just
Have a good night.
I'll take your place.
Do that.
So I have questions.
Uh-oh.
Not just
Got some
saying-
questions?
Ask now. You can ask me on
I know
right.
what y'all was just talking about.
Huh? We was talking about Broad Street. Sit right there.
You edited, right?
Sit right there so you can read the question, bro. The comment.
Oh, let
You
me
be edited, though. You
I
edit.
ain't editing this live.
Look, you don't be edited, though?
Not this year. I be editing. I edit the interviews.
All right.
It's an interview, but it's a live interview. Like the one me and Charles did the other day.
All right. I need to watch that. Yeah, bro. This shit feel unreal, bro. I'm honored.
Yeah, that what's up. It's
Where I need to be going?
What they say, what they last comment right now, they said.
9:45 is facts. Doesn't make it right. Facts. Word
So
perception.
you say you got some questions?
Yeah, what y'all was just talking about? What I leave that on? I have a few questions.
This like
I'm just let y'all.
So now ask whatever you got questions. Whatever
All right.
questions you have, ask.
So I guess it's more towards you. How you were saying, like, why don't we build our own community up? Why don't we, just leave? You always say like, let's just leave. I got 2 questions for that.
Mhm.
So when you were saying they should give us land and things like that,
Mhm.
they've already written out. I mean, you got like what 3 acres and a mule that they were supposed to give us.
50, 40 acres in the mule.
That never happened.
Never happened.
So that is actually written. That was law. It was supposed to be instituted. It was never instituted. So what's the resolution to that? If laws and stuff like that have already been created for that, then what's the next step?
So that law was created, but then that law was later disregarded. But in California, they have passed laws to give black people reparations for slavery, just like they gave the Indians reparations.
And the Chinese.
Yeah, but what black people don't know is it's certain laws and certain grants that we can write if we come together, where we can force these people to give us an amount of land, give us the resources to farm the land, give us the schools, the money for the schools to teach the people.
But the same people that disregarded it the first time, they're gonna respect it.
But no, the United Nations, the only reason they're disregarding it is because we're not doing nothing as a collective unit to make them pay us attention.
My question with the United Nations is, nothing happens in the United Nations without, I think it's 5 superpowers who sign off on it, and it has to be a unanimous decision.
Right.
The U.S. is one of the superpowers on that, so they would have to agree to that.
And
regardless, that's not. What makes you think that though? If that hasn't been a historical precedent that they.
Because they tired of niggas. If they can come up with a way to get niggas out of here, they will. They tired of niggas.
But their natural approach isn't to do that. You got people like the Black Panther Party who they literally have documents that they assassinated all those leaders, and they were building schools. So they were doing programs. They were preaching exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
They killed all of them.
What messed the Black Panther Party up is because they was aggressive against the man. You gotta fight them with honey. You gotta finesse them. You can't pull up with all these guns and black glasses on and making yourself.
But why not? If you got you think like Fred Hampton and Mark, I can't remember his last name.
Clark, Fred Hampton.
They were assassinated during a police raid. So why would you not arm yourself if they're coming in with the intentions to harm? They're not coming in with the intentions to like. The
reason they were assassinated and their murders were never solved because they were known radicals. If they were publicly seen like that, if they were publicly seen like Dr. King, this is why he got a holiday. If they were publicly seen like Dr. King, their murders probably would have been investigated because somebody had to go to jail for him.
I mean, but even Martin Luther King, they have CIA documents that showed that they wanted to do the same to him, and those weren't released until maybe like a few years ago.
So this is what, can you hold on? This is what y'all gotta understand, people. This is what I want my black people to understand. This is a place where we are that took us from a place that we were, brought us to this place, slaved us, whipped us, beat us, then let us we didn't fight to get let go. We didn't break out. I mean, we didn't overthrow these people. We didn't say, nigga, let me go and we here. Nah, they signed paper, Emancipation Proclamation, put stuff in law. Hey, y'all leave them alone, let them go. Y'all let them boys go right now. We ain't just make them let us go. So in the back of their mind, what would you do if you killed the nigga daddy and his son grow up? You ain't gonna make it so you protect yourself. They doing what they supposed to do. We need to get the fuck on.
I'm just gonna say,
yeah.
On contrary, I just gotta say contrary. You gotta say contrary is documentation right in one Margaret Mitchell Way at the Central Library downtown that showed that there was numerous slave revolts.
Definitely revolts. There's a difference between an overthrow and a usurping and a revolt. Man, niggas can get mad in the street and revolt us.
No, I'm talking about to the level where it was significant. I'm talking about the proof is where these people look how diabolical it was. That they got the claims where they actually got paid from people revolting and slaves killing people and they dying in the midst of for their freedom. Now, even if it didn't result in that day that they laid their life down, that they said, hold on, I'm tired of this.
Right.
I'm not going for this no more.
Right.
In South Carolina. in Albany, Georgia. Where in these pockets that happen all throughout the South.
Right.
That it can't be diminished. It like so no.
Even when
Lincoln gave the Emancipation Proclamation,
it wasn't because of that.
It wasn't because of that. It was because they
knew.
It was because he knew they were going towards an industrialized. It was going towards an industrialized.
Time out.
Who said they respected him?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. So how
they
can we
expect of a person then? Who said they respected him?
That's what I'm trying
to say. The same year we got out the plantation, we started colleges.
That's what you got to do. That's what you got to realize. We didn't start shit. They did.
No,
we started what?
In Atlanta, we can Google it. In Atlanta, Georgia, Clark College was started. It wasn't even named Clark Atlanta, but it was Clark College. He started in 1865.
Okay.
The same year. Hold up. The church.
Who won Clark now? Niggas can start it, but who gonna finish it?
We're not gonna make it. Let's don't move the goal line. Let's don't move the goal line. We're talking about that's right off the plantation. And we're talking about right off the plantation. You had people went right into Congress, right in South Carolina, and they was back then. They was in the Republican Party. All this is Googleable. That they went in the Senate. I don't necessarily.
This happened in Atlanta, my brother, because you had something called right here in Atlanta called the Freedmen's Bureau. You had the Freedmen's Bureau right here in Atlanta, started in the 1800s, where black people could come, start businesses. Runaway slaves can come, start businesses, get funding. This was here in the 1800s. Atlanta been one of these places. The Freedmen's Bureau was right here in Atlanta. Google it right now.
I'm Googling.
It was right here in Atlanta. This is why Atlanta's the place. Well, rapper, this is why the Black Mecca, we've been there since the 1800s. This is what people don't realize. We always been there. This is when Alonzo them thrive. So when you saying all this stuff happened right here, this place been a place where slaves can run to in the South. This was the only one. Atlanta, Georgia. This is what people don't know. And it's called the Freedmen's Bureau. They had the office set up. They had their own police force.
So when you say we need to get on, where are we going?
Okay, so this is what I'm saying. All right, so guess what? This is how we unify. We get with the country. It's countries, Libya, Ghana. It's different countries in Africa that has sent invitations for us to come back. It's countries that been telling us to come back.
There's people that go every year. There's people that go.
But
saying we have to.
Everybody.
We got the free will. It's people that go every year that give up their citizenship.
I mean, I just think like slavery and the stuff that's going on in America. It's not only going on in America. A lot of that stuff goes on in Africa too. They got genocides that still go on.
Okay, guess what? Just because we go to Africa doesn't mean that we're not African. So all we have to do is set up a declaration where we get a certain amount of land. You see what I'm saying? And this is our country. Creating the country is like this. I can buy a plot of land. I can do this right now. I can file sovereignty from the United States. This is how simple it is. This is how they created the United States. This is why the Boston Tea Party, they throw the tea in, they revolted against the Queen. We can do the same shit. I don't want to start a little rock, but goddamn, hold up. I'm just telling y'all how this shit works. Now, say if I wanted to separate myself from America and start a country, USVA, I would file sovereignty. I got my house, I own my land. If I own this 1 acre of land, I filed sovereignty. I went through all the paperwork. I'm no longer part of the United States. I'm from this country over here. This is my church back to, but I gotta have proof though that hey, I'm Moroccan. I got proof that I'm Moroccan. So I can, no, not Moroccan. I just was playing. But I'm Nigerian. But let me not get canceled. But yeah, so she talking about that is crazy. So yeah, once I got my proof, show my proof, hey.
You gotta think about that.
What?
Being canceled and all that.
Yeah, you got to. Because I'm thinking about it and I'm just talking to y'all.
I know this.
I forgot that we lied. It's so much easier than it is. Like, even like when you talk about America separated from the British, they went to war behind that. They went to war.
That's why you can never go wrong with facts.
Because at the time, British Britain was like the superpower, which is basically
It
what
was.
the U.S.
It
is.
still
They
is.
didn't let them go. They had
No,
people
they
die
didn't.
behind
They
it, you know,
didn't.
like, and they were across seas. We're in the same, like on the same land. They don't even have to cross oceans. So it's like when you have that much control over people, you're not just gonna let them go. You know how much you just said it's $1 billion that they make.
Britain thrived off of being a colonizer.
So hold on.
So
you
when they
think that Britain?
colonized-
You think that America has surpassed Britain? You think that America is
His GDP surely surpasses.
So you think-
And our military. The only thing
We
they
can
have
look
is
it
the
up
best,
right now.
like
I'm not
Navy.
talking about
Okay,
that.
so what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Do I think
Britain
America?
is who runs America. England is who runs it. The language we speak is English.
I get that.
This English.
But I'm talking about the GDP.
Yeah.
I'm just.
This is what I'm
go back
talking
to
about.
numbers.
Okay, so this word
That's the
is
history.
all right. So this word that we were just speaking of is called Revolutionary War, right? What word is that? The Revolution.
The American Revolution. You're talking
So-
about 1776.
So
But
guess
that was when it was over.
all right. So guess what happened? I'm finna tell you what happened. So they came over here. They was getting taxed for the tea. Britain been running this shit, man. This is how George Washington became the general.
Everything.
I'm finna tell you, this is even how George Washington, the general, became the president, bro. America lost, they lost that war. These folks lost the war, man. These folks came up with a deal. This is just a project. This is just a place that's a project. That's why this is a place where all the other countries, we like a test. Like, you know what I mean? This is testing ground. And this was the deal that they set up.
The U.S. economy is now bigger than the EU and UK economies combined at $25 trillion versus $19.8 trillion.
Yeah.
A reversal from just 15 years earlier when Europe's economy was 1.5 trillion larger. And this trend seems to be growing. So
every power family here is from there. This is what I'm telling you. America's not a real place.
Oh, you went deeper then. All right.
Yeah, I ain't gonna go there deep. I apologize. I've been got blowed up. Let me stop. Asymmetric is a motherfucker.
My brother said America's not a real place.
This is a place. Nobody here is from here, bro. No race here is from here. This is a
That's
place.
Not a fact. You got Native Americans that's here, my brother.
Man, you can't go up the street and see no damn Indian nowhere.
It don't matter if I don't go up the street of Atlanta, Georgia, but if I go to New Mexico, if I go to Arizona, if I go to
if this data, then how we outnumbered it? I'm talking about.
I don't know about how we outnumber. I'm just saying we know how we outnumber.
Yeah, I'm just saying
because they was eradicated, they was systematic.
So
you have whole countries, you got whole counties like Muscogee County was named after the people. So
So what I'm telling you is,
and this is their land.
It's more white people than them, more Asians than them, more everybody else is more than them. That's what I'm telling you. So,
but it doesn't negate that
this is testing ground. People come here and go to school. China sell their products here.
True.
India sell their hair here. Iraq, Middle East sell their oil here.
It's a worldwide marketplace.
America is. Other countries send everything here, bro.
It's the biggest global.
That's what I'm telling you. This ain't no real place. This is a market. Even your social security number, even you are a business. Even you are an organization. This is what I'm saying. This is the whole place. There ain't nowhere like that. I ain't gonna go that deep on y'all, man. We can get back on the prayer shit, but this tie into the prayer shit.
I mean, okay, I just had to look it up because they said it was 10 million Native Americans over here before America came here. So how picture if they all had kids. You know how many of them would be, but they were literally killed.
They was literally killed. They was eradicated.
10 million people.
Systematic.
That's already here, and then for you to step foot on land and say, "Oh, this is my land," and it's already 10 million people.
They wasn't even dealing with the firepower, bro. They wasn't dealing with that. They wasn't even the diseases. Mind you, if you want to go historical narratives here, they was just after the bubonic plague, bro. The whole country, they came out of dark age. These people was in America, Native American, they was dealing with the earth. These was in tune with the earth. They was teaching them shit. They came with the tricketry and the wicketry and the we gonna eradicate.
And look where they at now. Just because they was good people, they didn't win. Same thing happened to the nigga. How you think we got over here slaves? These folk coming around finessing. And are they wrong? They did it to destroy their people. We did everything to destruct our people. So who's wrong? How can we run around the white man this? The white man locking us up. No, nigga, you locking you up. We can go, we can leave, we can figure out ways. I done been locked up hell of time.
I mean, but do you think like if rappers and activists like y'all didn't speak about gun violence and stuff like that in their songs, do you think they would care? They want to hear statistics.
About it, they care.
Is though.
It's about
nobody would know about it.
Conversation. Let's talk about
no,
it.
I feel like if rappers, one, they're only rapping about what they see in their everyday life. If they didn't put that information out there, they wouldn't be coming through here doing all these statistics. They won't even be talking about gun violence. They wouldn't care because it's not happening in their communities.
What maybe? When you say they, are you talking about the executives or the rappers?
I mean, the executives are making money off the rappers. So when I say they wouldn't care, I'm referring to government entities who go through neighborhoods and do statistics, the news who promotes and speaks about gun violence. They wouldn't be talking about that.
It all ties in. And it all ties into the prison. It all ties into money. It all ties into what I was just telling you, that this is not a real place and it's just to make money. The black man is being formed through the prison system. The black man is being formed through laws that we're not even learning how to. This is why I'm getting into activism. This is why I'm getting into law. This is why I'm authoring bills, legislation, because we have to change it for ourselves. If we're gonna do it, we can't expect them to do it because they're not gonna do it for us. Like that, we just gotta know that it's not gonna get done for us, and that's the whole thing. We just sitting back thinking that something gonna happen for us.
If I speak on, I heard that point. If I speak on it from the musical standpoint, it's a frequency dialing. I know this is not going to be very popular with the musicians, but it's definitely an agenda that's instilled through the music for us to operate on a certain level. How is everybody ops? When is, you know what I'm saying? So it's always been a certain agenda that's pushed. The same time they gave Bobby Shmurda all that money, they didn't give Joey Badass a look. Everybody knew that Joey Badass was, I know I'm going East Coast music. Joey Badass was like, they say like this guy is the next becoming of a hip hop laureate for the new generation. Bobby Shmurda, you know what I'm saying? Bobby Shmurda number one hit, was Hot Boy. Hot Boy was basically hot nigga. Basically, what he'd do, you know what I'm saying, how he'd kill people, basically his people. And they funded that. It's always a nefarious agenda with, who they fund with, this messaging that dials the frequency. Thank you. But shout out to Bobby Shmurda though.
Yeah. Shout out to all the black men in captivity. We want to let y'all know that it didn't just start. It's something that systematically has been done to us and continue to be done to us. And we got smoke with that shit.
We got smoke with it.
We definitely do. And if you against black people as a whole, we got smoke with you too. Now I want to ask you a question about did you go down there when Donald Trump came to
I was about to. I was trying to get down there.
Yeah, I remember you said something about it.
I was trying to get down there, man. I'm glad I did because he had traffic fucked up. But he whizzed in and out of there.
So how long
Donald was in there like 20 minutes. Trump was in there about 20 minutes. Giuliani came on a private jet.
They might have just been a
little. They were in and out.
Yeah, they got a VIP treatment. And I don't begrudge their societal status. I don't begrudge that. But when the sheriff comes on national TV, I guess it's local news, and says that, Donald Trump will not be treated any different than anybody else that's coming through the Fulton County Jail. And that wasn't true because I went through the Fulton County Jail in October and I spent 86 horrendous hours in there, bail paid, ready to go in.
You can't. I seen this movie called Django Unchained, and they had a scene on there when Samuel Jackson told, the white man told Samuel Jackson, you can't treat him like any other nigga because he ain't like any other nigga. It's Donald goddamn Trump. You can't treat him like the inmates. He ain't like the inmates.
What about the other? Why?
They ain't the president, but
that's you saying
they with the president.
The sheriff said he wasn't gonna treat him like that.
He telling the people that
he got indicted. He got indicted. I don't have an axe to grind against Donald Trump. I actually was an early supporter of Donald Trump.
I seen the picture. I seen the photo.
It's verified. I got the receipts.
You definitely do.
You know what I'm saying? So I split with Donald Trump around when he started dog whistling, when they start looting, we start shooting, and he was just showing a disdain for the atrocities that was beset upon Black people. He just showed a disrespect, not a disdain, but just a disrespect.
I hear what you're saying, but I want Black people to start looking at things like what we would do if people did that to us. If you was the president and a race of people is going crazy, what are you gonna do? Like we play the victim so much.
I'm not against law and order, bro. I'm not in my activism. I'm gonna be consistent because even as I start being more public,
right,
I'm gonna be consistent. Martin Luther King was consistent, and that's my guy. A lot of people don't.
Martin Luther King is your guy.
Let me
You want to get into this with me about Dr.
Let me
King?
spit this out. I'm a guest.
You right. Go ahead.
Martin Luther King, my guy, right? And the gist of what he was just about speaking for the suffering. That's it. You could get into the whether you would have been in the streets protesting or you would have been with Huey P. Newton or whatever you want to say, from the confines of 2024 is real convenient for 2024 as opposed to being boots on the ground in 1963 when Dr. King was putting it down. So all I'm saying is that I have a reverence for Dr. King. I have a reverence for that philosophy.
What philosophy?
That philosophy is speaking for the suffering, my brother. When I'm speaking about Rice Street, Guantanamo Trap, I didn't lose any of those 10 people. I didn't know them personally that died.
You were just speaking for the suffering.
I don't know the first person. I know his middle name is the same as my first name, Anthony. May he rest in peace. That's all I know, bro. But I know he's suffering. And just like Dr. King, when he was speaking, they was like, hold on, Dr. King, you're a Southern Black man from Atlanta, Georgia. What do you know about Vietnamese kids that's being killed over there in the war? I know it's wrong. I speak for the suffering. Whatever the people on Rice Street or any county jail or any correctional facility, whatever they're charged with, let the judicial system deal with them. But nobody should be eaten alive by bed bugs. Nobody should be made to live in human feces as I was made to house in human feces in 2 South 600 when I went in October.
So they made you sleep in human feces?
No, I didn't sleep. They didn't make that. They escorted me in there. My bail was paid. So now we're talking about constitutional rights.
Right.
I was talking about
as a human.
I was talking about human rights at first. Now I'm talking about constitutional rights because now we're talking about now you're holding me. My bail's been paid. You know what I'm saying? So now we're talking about constitutional and cruel and unusual because if you're staying in a holding cell for 4 days, 4 to 5 days, some people may stay a week in a holding cell, and the excuse that you're telling me is that because I can't go upstairs because it's packed. So your solution is to hold us packed, jam tight in the holding cells when there's seating made available so we can sit down like human beings, make phone calls, attempt to make bail, sit down, adjust yourself. You've just been arrested. No matter what drunken driving, dispute, armed robbery, murder. I don't know what the fuck you in jail for. You in jail. You just been arrested. Now you gotta just be treated like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
And then that's just the booking process. We don't even talk about going upstairs. I'm not talking about a meal. I'm not talking about the food. You eat what you eat. I'm not talking about the food. I'm talking about basic sanitation, basic humanity, basic constitutional rights. That's what I'm talking about. The judge can deal with all the other stuff.
Right. So when you was in Rice Street, how long was you in the booking?
Shit, 86 hours. I wrote about it.
86 hours?
I was in booking. You know what? I think 8 of those hours we had been on the housing unit. I was ready to go, bro. I went in the cell. I'm like, fuck man, I might just take a nap. You know, I did 17 years in prison. So I ain't a super tough guy, but I did 17 years in prison, 10 in New York State. You know what I'm saying? Feds. So I was like, man, I'm disgusted. I see dudes make the knives right in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
I go in there, these dudes, it's a rubber cart. We go in there, it's a rubber cart. They take us in and we go to the gym. Dudes see the rubber cart, they go right to it. Bang the rubber cart for the wheels. You know, the wheels got the plastic piece. I mean, the metal to hold the wheel to the cart. They bang it about 20 times. Boom.
Then
the
long screw pop out.
You know it's popping out. And no CO, no nothing. Dude got the weapons. Now that's what they go in the housing unit with. So we're talking about this level of security, right? I'm not, you know, I understand how things go in prison. I understand that, you know, disputes are going to happen. You're in close proximity with a bunch of men, a bunch of egos, a bunch of testosterone, a bunch of malcontent motherfuckers, rude motherfuckers. So, you know, it's certain gentlemen in there, and we, you know, the gentlemen and the gangsters try to mix, and we try to have order, you know, but things clash.
I want to know how dirty it is, though. Why everybody
filthy, bro?
Why everybody keep talking about how dirty it is?
It's filthy. You would see, it's filthy, bro. So to tell me that the sheriff has no culpability, responsibility, accountability, all of that, none. It's an election time going on. We gotta vote that dude out of there. That's the only thing we can do. We gotta vote Pat LaBatt. I don't care if you vote for Joyce Farmer or the other candidate. You gotta vote that dude out of it because he really he has really shown a disrespect for that position. I didn't like the fact that he didn't even show his face at the Martin Luther King 95th birthday anniversary at his center on Auburn Avenue.
No, he didn't show up.
When he did show up, I confronted him. I told him I didn't appreciate that. Martin Luther King wasn't known for being around no jailers.
So you walked up to him and you told him?
I walked up to him. Yeah, I walked up to him and told him.
He had on his uniform?
He had on a suit. He looking clean.
He came out there to pay his respects.
You know, he's not showing respect because he's there in his professional capacity.
He black.
He black. The people that killed Tyree Nichols was black. The people that took Freddie Gray for that rough ride was black. The person that breathed the last breath into Malcolm X to make sure he was dead was black. He was a CIA. He was black. So I'm beyond that. Martin Luther King said, "I judge the person by the content of his character, not by the color of his skin."
The reason why I asked, was he black though? Or the reason why I asked, did he have on his suit? I mean, his uniform was because if he came in his personal clothes, then I think he came as his personal self.
No.
He
was there. He was there speaking. All the candidates that was running for office was there. He made what was essential slight campaign pitch. Everybody wanted to be sheriff until they get these problems and all that type of some type of applause. So it was a campaign type. He was what they call he was stumping. I mean, so he was stumping a little bit, and he may have had a suit on. I don't know. I was just offended. I was more offended that a woman would allowed him to take a picture with her little girl.
Why?
I'm offended because you don't, man. Listen, the
But
man
you
got
don't
blood
know
on
his
his
journey.
because he has blood on his hands. He got 10 lives that's been.
What stance
been
is
lost.
he taking on all the 10 of these lives, man?
What stance is he taking?
Yeah.
He's out in public. He's smiling. He's running for real.
I mean, what is his response when he's
Nobody's
asking
been
about
convicted. He's convicted. Listen, 2 firearms was found on Wright Street. 2 guns. 2 guns is found in the jail. When you gonna say this sheriff ain't know what the fuck this sheriff is crazy? 2 guns. I got an elected official telling me he's black and they want a white person to run the jail. What? Ron Freeman, white, he run Forsyth County. He ain't got all this bullshit going on. I don't give a fuck about no white person or no black person when it comes to.
So what about this money coming up, Mason? That's
a whole nother story, man. Like, listen, man.
So they finding guns, contraband, and money coming up missing.
They got guns.
Man, I can't believe this shit.
Got dudes sticking
I gotta look into it. I seen that video.
Come on, man.
And I know that girl and the dude that was doing it. That is crazy.
Come on.
But I'm from Atlanta.
But it's all good. Like, so I don't ridicule that because that's science. That's human nature. You put women in the mix with incarcerated men. That's bound to happen. That's mathematics. Like we was talking with our friend earlier. That's ratios.
Right.
All of them ain't gonna do it, right? When you take 5 female staff members, I say about 2 of them might go. Huh? 2 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
So we're doing math, but that's just science, man. But I'm talking about this lapse of security, lapse all seriousness. People are losing their lives, man. 10 days into January, 10 days into 2024.
Another man
already died. So it's business as usual. It's business as usual, and they don't care because, like I said, man, we got to diagnose the history. The history is slavery. Once you abolish slavery in 1865, they said the new slaves would be inmates. And so we know slavery was all about what? Exploiting black labor, exploiting black people, whether it's for the black babies that they was having, or whether it was the black man.
I mean, modern day policing is based off of slave patrols.
Yeah,
it comes
the
from
Fugitive
slave
Slave Act.
They caught slaves and they just transitioned that into the police department now. So,
and are they wrong? They're wrong, but they're right because we still here.
Like, I mean, but when you say, like when he was just talking about Trump with if they looting, I'm shooting. It's written into the Constitution. If your government isn't serving the people, you have a right to overthrow that government.
But niggas ain't overthrowing it. Because niggas ain't gonna do it.
Well, I don't know if y'all were out, but they sent in the National Guard when they were. They literally sent in people coming through with army trucks and military tanks. So
when they were trying to overthrow the government,
they weren't overthrowing the government. They were out there peacefully protesting, and they felt like they had.
We talking about when Trump was in office.
When Trump was in office,
that summer. We talking about that summer.
And I was there. It was a peaceful protest, but when you're
that was right after George Floyd.
Yeah, right? Yeah. That's everybody was down by the CNN Center. By Centennial Park.
I remember watching.
And they sent in literally all of APD was downtown for a peaceful protest. Everybody was out there praying together. Like it was calm. I'm
about to say somebody threw a skateboard in CNN.
That was white people. It was white people there throwing. Because black people not doing that, but it was white people throwing. They were throwing fireworks in the CNN Center, but it didn't start off that way until the police presence was there. You know, pushing people. They didn't start flipping police cars and doing all that. But it started off as a peaceful protest and it ended up with the National Guard coming through. So I don't know. I don't feel like that's like literally. I don't think it's a fair statement to say that though. Like,
to say what?
What else are they supposed to do? Like, wouldn't you do the same thing? Like,
but what would you do if people was raising up against you and you trying to run a government? What would you do?
See, the right thing isn't to antagonize the situation and send in more weapons and send in more police. I don't think that's the right way. Right. Especially when people are peacefully protesting. It's crazy.
Let me show y'all something because we're all free people. We be on social. I can't speak for you. I just mentioned it. Do you be on social media? Because there's something on social media. You have to see the difference in the way that we're policed, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a tape. I've seen something from North. It was like I don't know if it was. I know it was the East Coast. Woman is in a police station, shooting at a police station.
She shot a few police officers too.
They brought her down safely. You had the guy that was shooting, and he got acquitted. He's walking through with a long gun. Just shot 2 people. He go down peacefully. You just had the other guy, a few years ago, the college student, he killed 5 people. Go on a run.
Mm-hmm.
They got him on tape. The police giving him water after they captured him.
I mean, I went to white schools and I went to black schools. White schools, we don't have gun metal detectors. We don't have security officers that walk around with tasers and guns and bulletproof vests. At white schools, you don't even have security officers.
It's a different approach, man. It's a different approach.
And then when you're like, it's normalized. It's normalized for you to see that and to think it's normal in your neighborhood. So people, for some reason, accept it more.
But y'all thinking like y'all are not really.
And everyone paying the same amount of taxes.
But it's not about that. Y'all forgetting the fact that we were slaves and they let us go. We not respected.
I mean, emancipation, you said it was in 1865. Everybody wasn't free in 1865, especially in the South. It took some people.
That's why we got Juneteenth.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it continued. Really, like I said, the emancipation was really in 1863. It continued for 2 more years until they went to Galveston.
And then they were just indentured servants. They gave them a plot of land they couldn't do nothing with. They said, hey, make it work.
All through the Jim Crow. Yeah.
So they did that because they don't respect us. They don't respect us. We didn't overthrow them and kill them and make them go and run somewhere.
I mean, statistically, how are we going to overthrow them? They have a higher population. They have the guns. They're in the area.
They didn't back then. They didn't when we could have. I mean, I'm talking about as far as have outnumbered us. And niggas was in the military. When slavery and shit, like niggas was in the military trying to fight.
I realized too though that, we never moved as a monolith. We never moved as one unit. If we be
that's what I'm
telling
saying.
Serious, because even in Africa, right? When we go back there, that's 53 different countries, bro. Mm-hmm. So even they don't move like a monolith. Mm-hmm. South Africa is not moving like Congo. Mm-hmm. Ethiopia ain't moving like Ghana.
I mean, South Africa is 80% black, and they just ended apartheid like 20 years ago, and it's 80% black. How are y'all I don't think just having the population size.
Psychological, so that's when we get into psychological.
Religion,
that's why when you
all of it.
All forms of institutions. That's why you're critical, bro. You're educated, bro. Like all forms of that, man.
I mean, but a question for y'all. So both of y'all are into activism. Is this something that you were even thinking about growing up when you're like dealing with just like the basics, like trying to survive, trying to pay your bills? Like y'all are probably in a more comfortable space now to where you can come to that realization to even think like, I don't know. It's like once you actually establish yourself, I feel like maybe that's when, I don't want to say it's anger, but maybe that's when the anger and the feelings come through, because now you realize how far you had to go to even get here and how far you got to reach back to bring other people in. So it's like, because as a youngin', were you even, with just the daily struggles and the neighborhoods y'all had to live in, were you even thinking like that? Like, realistically?
As a youngin', I didn't want to be nothing but a cold gangster. That's all I wanted. Well, at first I wanted to be a football player, but once I started getting in trouble and fighting and seeing the reaction from that and liked it, I ain't thinking about nothing else. So I ain't never think that I'd be
so when you speak about like overthrowing, not even overthrowing or just leaving, like you're speaking to such a small population, because most people on a day-to-day are just thinking about paying their bills and surviving. They're not even thinking about anything past that. So it's like y'all are probably 1, 2 out of every 10,000, 20,000 people in Atlanta. Like it's just such a small percentage.
But the reason
physically doing something is different.
So what motivates me is the reason why people even think how they think is because of what has been done to this systematically. If we knew what really is happening, if we really look at that, they really like, hey, these niggas is too strong. Let's put crack in their hood and give them guns. Hey, these niggas is like, we really look at what the hell going on, what's really happening to our people. we'll be upset, and we'll be upset, but we'll want to overthrow them. So that's why they do what they do to us.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm trying to get people to see. Like, this is why they do this. It's because they know that if we knew, we'll be pissed off and we'll burn this bitch down.
That's a fact. And that's what my activism, to answer your question, my activism like really started not really from the neighborhoods that I grew up in. It really started in prison. It really started when I was reading more. I was reading George Jackson, same stuff the brother was reading.
Mm-hmm.
Just read, liberation materials. And I'm seeing the system. Damn, brothers is really, I'm reading cases, I'm doing law work. So I'm seeing brothers getting jammed for all this time. When you compare it to our counterparts, white counterparts, I'm child molesters, 5 years, 4 years, these dudes doing robberies, hobbacks, they stacking them. Remember the 924Cs?
The
Brothers coming in there with 1 million years.
Stacked.
They'll rob 2 Denny's in a Waffle House.
Yeah, so a 924C is when you got a gun protecting drugs, or you got a gun protecting anything illegal. So you got a pistol, a convicted felon with a pistol, and you got drugs, 924C. So that's what dudes should realize, and that's the minimum. That's one of the federal charges that have a mandatory minimum. So that's a minimum of 10 years, and they can give you one for each.
That's the poll and the work.
Yeah.
The poll and the work and the all.
So say if you got a pistol, say if you convicted felon with a pistol, and you got ecstasy pills, you got weed, you got Percocet pills, you got lean, and you got a little cocaine. Let's say you got a little bit of each one. There's 5 different 924Cs plus one more.
Stacking, they running sentences.
So that's a mandatory 60 years, mandatory. Before we even talk to you, before we see niggas be riding around with the gun and all that. Yeah, this on a bad night. Before we even talk about negotiations, baby, it's 60 off the muscle.
You praying for 25?
Yeah.
Praying like, damn,
so when you go to talking about snitching.
Yeah.
And is a nigga gonna tell?
Yeah.
When 60 years is not the deal with what it is, hey,
this is reality.
What you gonna do?
This is reality.
Hey, you know some people that do this or that, you gonna put this on, and what you gonna do? A lot of people.
Conviction rate for the feds.
90, gotta be 98.9.
98% or something like that.
It's still like, they shoot like an A+, it's still A+.
It gotta be.
God damn.
But what people don't realize is the feds is a federal bureau of investigation. They're an investigation bureau. They're not even a police agency. They're an investigation bureau with the right to enforce the law. They got the same rights as citizens. They just organized it. We can come together and investigate some shit and do hella citizens arrest. That what motherfucker don't know. We really got a lot of power, but black people just, we under a spell. Yeah, we can go to arresting bitches for having drop. I was just playing. All the type of shit. We can go to arresting people, all type of shit. Arresting niggas for not holding the door for an old lady. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. All type of shit, man. But yeah, man, I'm glad we had a good conversation. We got out a lot of necessary smoke.
Yeah, man.
We've been going now for an hour and 30 minutes. So this video gonna have a lot of watch time, and y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Anything that you want to leave the people with on this live stream.
I just want to make sure, man, we got to go vote.
Mm-hmm.
We have to vote.
You Democrat or Republican?
Huh?
You Democrat?
I don't subscribe to any of the political parties because if I have my candidate, my dream candidate, he's running for president.
Donald Trump.
Dr. Cornel West, that's my candidate for president.
This year he's Democrat.
He's running.
He's Republican and Democrat.
Like I said, I don't subscribe to any.
I mean, what is he?
I think we gotta look it up. I don't want to waste the time, but look it up in the comment section. Let me know what party. I think it's the People's Party. I think it's the People's Party.
That ain't gonna be Trump.
That's my candidate. He probably won't because they're not giving him airtime. This brother is a very illuminated brother. He doesn't even know that Dr. Cornel West was running for president. Mm-hmm. So, but local elections, you know, Andre's my man. He's a Democrat. Andre Dickens is my man. So I support. He has my support for his candidacy.
For sure.
I don't know who's running for the superintendent, but that's super important. You know, so that's what I'm gonna lead people with, man. Get involved in these elections. Get involved in these programs because it's a lot of grant money that's being given out to a lot of programs, and these programs are saying that they're going to deliver.
And could change.
Go deliver.
Make it
Go
change.
to the grocery spot on Donald Lee Hollowell. For $5, a $5 donation, you can get a big blue bag of food. So and that food can feed a family for a week. I'm talking about for $5. So if you give more. That's a grocery spot. They're on Instagram.
It's the old Family Dollars on Bankhead.
Old Family Dollars.
Next door to Pick and Pay.
Donald Lee Hollowell.
On Donald Lee Hollowell. The streets know Bankhead. We're gonna say Donald, man.
We're eradicating that. We're eradicating the Confederate General Bankhead, who is from Alabama. He wasn't even from Georgia.
But Bankhead run all the way to Alabama.
Yeah, run out, but that's why. So that's even more disrespectful that they brought the Roll Tide all the way into the University of Georgia. Right? So that's another reason why y'all should hate him.
He's a way y'all should hate him.
It's another reason. So he's an Alabama Confederate General Bankhead. And at one time, the projects, which is called Bankhead Courts, that was 98% head of household Black women. Now, I love Black women, but that right there was part of a design and a trick. And a lot of those women that was running Bankhead Court, that was head of households, those same women are where? Section 8 houses, right? So when they put them in the Section 8 houses, one of the prerequisites of having a Section 8 house,
Black man can't live with you.
You better not. He can come in there and they're going to actually
a man can't live there.
You. They're going to actually incentivize the Black women to have kids. Because where the little kids coming from? So we got to know somebody's coming through here, but he better not stay.
Better not be no man in this house.
So now when a Black man can't, now his role is diminished.
That's deep.
Now his role is diminished.
That's deep.
So when he do try to come tiptoeing around and playing house in the Queen's Castle,
he ain't got no respect because he don't live there.
He ain't got no respect. You may be very good in the bed and all of that, and can chip in where you chip in, but you're always dispensable because Uncle Sam is her man. You can never be her man. So that was just part of the parcel. I'm saying it in jest, but it's serious.
Very serious.
And the mentality, you talk to a man that's 17 years removed. So when a man comes in with earnest intentions, when a man come in like, you know what, I'm feeling this female, it could be some promise and some progress. If he tried to institute anything as a man, so much of a diet for the children, a diet for his child. I've experienced one of my homeboys went through that. He can't even implement a diet for his child. That can't even be respected and implemented. And he can give a logical, rational reason why, hey, I don't want my daughter eating X, Y, Z because of this, that, and the third. Here's the phone, we can look it up. I'm not just giving you some prison mumbo jumbo. It concerns me as a father. I don't want my daughter injecting that. How does that get undermined? How does a father say, you know what, I don't think it's appropriate for my daughter who's going to middle school to be going to high school football games on a Friday night in the summertime, and you're going to be I don't think, how is that not respected?
These are things that,
and I know I'm digressing.
Black women don't respect the Black man.
It's a problem.
They have had to become the Black man.
It's a link with the mass incarceration. Yeah, we was playing ourselves. No, I'm not. I'm just as impacted. I'm not innocent. Okay, I did the crime. I did the time. I'm out. I ain't telling nobody. You know, I did the time. I thought it was an exceptionally long time, but I did it. I'm out. I'm still being penalized to this day for crimes that was committed in 2003. I know we're going over.
Nah, talk your talk. We live streaming.
You know, still being penalized for these crimes. These are what, you know, bar business, you know, says that are collateral consequences. And bar business is a company, is a great organization, you know, that was started by some phenomenal women. That's to address and to help safeguard justice impacted people.
You know, familiar with bar business?
Yeah, man.
Very familiar. Matter of fact, I just did an interview the other day on their channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. But we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up with that, man. It was good having you come by and stop by and talk to us, man.
The pleasure was mine, man. Necessary smoke, man. I had to come through.
Yeah, man. Y'all make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. I'm your host that do the most. We got Gabby the GOAT.
Gabby the GOAT.
We got AB and we got me. We out. Holla at y'all.